your host, Mr. Big Rates, coming to you live from Reservation Somewhere, taking a look at BTC and the rest of the market. Coming in at 19,970, kind of holding around that 20,000 area, right at that, that point. We tried to make some movement to the upside, but here we are. We got denied, seen some lower price action. Are we set up for some sideways action? That remains to be seen. Like I was saying, everybody's been rushing it. Everybody expects like a extreme recovery to the upside, but when we're on a downtrend, for those of us that have been here for a while, we always know we got to come back down and retest that support, especially on that long-term time frame. We've been on this for a long time now. Here we are. And this is, if we come back down and retest that support, some sideways action until the market starts making some movement to the upside. There's a lot of people out there, everybody's got a different scenario. One of the best scenarios that I've heard so far was, and it's, you always got to remember this is not financial advice. It's my views and opinions of the market only, and you always got to do what's right for you. So let me take it out to the year to date. I was talking about this in a few other videos before, and there's an S curve to the market. And when crypto first came on the scene, we were, in that mania phase. We were out here trying to get it. We were trying to buy it. And then there's the phase where it kind of slows down. And that's, we're kind of slowing down at this point. And then once, crypto gets its regulations going and everything's all, in across the board, then we start getting that mania phase to the upside. So like if you take a look at we're going to throw out there like Ford stock's been around out there for forever now, and in the beginning the stock was cheap, dollars on the pennies on the dollar, and everybody bought that up, made that mania phase up to the upside, and we got to a point to where Ford's just producing what it produces yearly. We know what it's going to do. We know the growth of it. And then we, basically, I believe Ford's, sitting around at this point right now, it's been a while since I've looked at it, but I think the last time that was I believe we were right in here when I was checking that price action on Ford. It was around $54. So, but I could be wrong. Let's actually take a look at that just to check an example of, all right, well, it's Ford Motor Company. Let's take a look at that. We'll throw that out there as an example. We got coming in at 1152. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. See, now that's, it's coming in at 1152. Had it at $25. You go out to the year to date. We're sitting there around 25. We go to the 5 year. And it's been kind of, we had some movement up to 35, and then, we've kind of made some movements sideways action. We had that mania phase, and then we started having some regular price action over the, over the long term. So, coming in at 1257, it looks like, it made some movement up to the upside. And so that's kind of like the S curve status of it, just to explain it, because car companies are basically easier to explain because they have one product. That's their product, and right now we're getting to the electrical stuff, and so we got Tesla, head in that game, got some high price stock out there. So as you can tell, everybody wanted a piece of the action, and then it just basically slowed down. And it's there's theories out there on that front as well, but and then there's those theories like a lot of us have out here that we're very early in the game. Crypto is just we're very early out here in the game, and BTC's had its ups and downs, and as far as the market's just been up and down for the stocks and crypto. So at this point, everything's been booming on both ends, and you got to have a cool off phase too. So we're coming in at 19,975. So taking a look at that BTC price action, had some movement up to the upside, and here we are coming down to some lower price action. So we definitely got to keep an eye on BTC. We definitely got to keep an eye on news. I'm out here loving this price action. We've been talking about this since November. we were looking for some lower price action. That's, it's been, you know, uh, it's been on the table since way up here. And this point here, when we started hitting that, that double top here, and we started getting some resistance real bad, and we started, getting that downtrend. And I had people, I've watched, there was a lot of people out there that was talking about some movement up to the upside at that point. And once we came down that on that long-term time trend, and started heading into that downward outlook, and then the market started, started seeing some effects, cross inflation started, that word started coming up more and more around, just right around about here, and we started setting up for that lower price action. So right about here is when we started looking at this area here. For those of you that are just now, watching the videos, we were talking about this since November, and we were looking for this price action because on a lot of the stocks that, I look at, and when I'm looking for a lower price buy-in, when you start seeing some patterns kind of set up, the way it's been set up on the long term, it's, people would argue that it's not really that head and shoulders type scenario. But if you really, if you look at it in one way or another, we've been going pretty much sideways for quite some time. And we do basically have, on that uptrend, a head and shoulders that basically, has been set up. As you can tell, we had one right here. And so when I started seeing those price actions start to kind of set up in that scenario, I started looking for that lowest point of, the higher, because we got this, higher low, and then we started making some movement back up there, and then we have to come back down and retest, as we've always been talking about in the whole, crypto game for the years. We make a run up to the upside, come back down, test 786, and if it's bullish, 618. But at this point, there's so many coins out there, that's also affecting the price as well. When we're having those extreme run-ups to the top, there was only maybe 100 coins out there. There was like BTC, there was ETH, there's Cardano, we had multiple, just there was a variety of coins that were there, and now there's thousands of them on the daily. So everybody, there's only enough money to go around in that market, but a lot of amazing projects out there. So, but you always got to remember, this is not financial advice. These are my views and opinions on the market only, and you always got to do what's right for you. So at this point, as far as talking with about BTC, and the cards were just set up the way it was supposed to be set up, especially with inflation hitting, and 20,000's actually a pretty decently cheap price. If I was to really think about it right now, that's pennies on the dollar for the rich. But like I said, everything's getting expensive out there. Jet rides are getting expensive. Fuel for the limos, diamonds. So, people are checking some money out. Gotta hit that ATM. Gotta have that fun, and, that's a lot of what's going on right now. People have a lot of fear in the market, and, that's when I'm out here looking for that lower price action. So we did hit that price action that I was looking for since November. We've been talking about it since way back then. Here we are at this price action at 17,580, and I'm loving the price action across the board. I've been able to accumulate on stocks, been able to accumulate on crypto, and well, enough with BTC. We'll get on to the the rest of the show, and but I just wanted to take a look at BTC before we get everything started. So for everybody and all the coins we talked about tonight, good luck. And you always got to remember, this is not financial advice. These are my views and opinions on the market only, and you always got to do what's right for you. So you always have a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, to good night. Mr. Big Braids is signing out.